Imagine a sunny afternoon at Six Flags Over Georgia on June 28, 2008. The air is filled with the sounds of laughter and the clattering of roller coasters. Among the crowd, a group of teenagers eagerly wait in line for their turn on Batman the Ride, one of the park's most popular attractions. This seemingly ordinary day is about to take a tragic turn for a 17-year-old kid named Asiah. In just a few moments, the thrill and excitement of the amusement park will give way to shock and horror as one of the most infamous accidents in amusement ride history unfolds right before their eyes. This is the tragic story of Asiah Leeshawn Ferguson, who lost his life to the Batman ride over Six Flags in Georgia. He was the eldest kid in his family and grew up in the state of South Carolina. He was born on April 26, 1991, in the state of Georgia. In his community, he was regarded as a bright young man who was a church-going, family-loving kid, and was known to be a very active participant in his community. He was a rising senior at W.J. Keenan High School, and Shawn was also a member of the W.J. Keenan Chorus. Just like every American kid's dream, his plans after high school were to attend college. But shortly, things will turn for the worse. On June 28, 2008, Asiah and many of his church members decided to visit Six Flags in Georgia for a day out to enjoy. The Six Flags Over Georgia is ranked second in the USA. Six Flags Over Georgia was built and opened in April 1967 and is now one of the largest and most famous amusement parks in the United States. On the first summer, it was opened and over 1.2 million people visited. The park is on 290 acres and has over 40 rides, including 11 roller coasters. Some of these roller coasters are Georgia Scorcher, Blue Hawk, and the one where the tragic incident happened, Batman the Ride. Batman the Ride was based on the DC Universe character Batman. What made Batman the Ride the most anticipated ride was that it was the only inverted roller coaster in the world and is found in 7 other Six Flags locations across the United States. The idea of the ride was introduced by a GM from Chicago Six Flags in 1990, and the man who introduced this ride goes by Jim Wintrode. It costs over $7 million to build and has a top speed of 55 miles per hour. On May 3, 1997, Batman the Ride opened at Six Flags Over Georgia. With the ride's many loops and turns, it has always been regarded as one of the most popular rides. At approximately 2 p.m. on June 28, 2008, things took a turn for the worse for Asiah. It was reported that Asiah and his friend managed to bypass a 6-foot fence and enter the restricted area below the ride. The park had numerous signs of warning and safety measures to warn people not to enter that part of the area. Asiah was in the restricted area when, out of nowhere, he was struck by the ride, and the speed of the ride decapitated Asiah. Security rushed to stop the ride as his motionless body lay there, while his friend escaped unscathed. Security rushed to Asiah and a few other people as paramedics arrived at the scene. But Asiah was unresponsive by then, and it was confirmed that he had died. There are many speculations and different conspiracy theories as to why he and his friend entered the restricted area. The first theory was that he entered because he wanted to touch the roller coaster, but this theory was put to rest by the Asiah family, who denied such rumors. The second theory is that he entered the restricted area because he wanted to retrieve a hat that he had lost while he was most likely riding the ride. Some of his friends and guests heard him openly discuss retrieving a hat before he died. Later on, the police put this rumor to rest as well, claiming it to be false. But the majority of people still believe this was the reason he entered the restricted area and the cause of his death. But it has yet to be confirmed as to why he entered the restricted area to this day. Due to the incident, the Batman ride was closed, and shortly after, Asiah's father released this statement. "We still don't know what happened. He was my oldest son. He was named after me. It's tragic." The police started their investigation as well, and the park officials made a statement saying, We do not know why this person was intent on gaining access to this restricted area. There are multiple signs that clearly state "do not enter" and "authorized personnel only." He also said while the police do their investigation, the park will be closed for a few days. The park was later opened on Monday, 3 days after the incident, and all the rides resumed operating. The investigation and the autopsy revealed that his death was accidental. Officers also inspected the ride and deemed it safe to resume, and his death was not caused by any ride malfunctions. Asiah's father soon released a statement saying, "Police investigators tried to tell us what they thought happened, but nobody knows but my son and the Lord," said Asiah's father, Asiah Ferguson III. "We don't know because we weren't with him at the time. All we know is that we don't blame anybody." He also told the press how he came to learn about the incident involving his son. Mr. Ferguson said he and other family members were at the park with a group from Oakley Spring Baptist Church near Springfield, South Carolina. They were taking a break to picnic outside the park, and his son returned ahead of the group. "When we finished our picnic, we were going back in," he said. "Before we could get there, someone called and said he had an accident." Soon after this incident, people started to bring light to another incident that happened 6 years prior with the same ride, the Batman ride, in which that incident happened for a completely unknown reason, and a 58-year-old employee of the park found himself in the restricted area once again. The employee was named Samuel Milton Guyton. While he was in the restricted area of the Batman ride, the roller coaster came by at a fast speed, and the dangling leg of one of the riders struck him, killing him instantly. The girl with the dangling leg was on the ride, and she had to be taken to the hospital for some injuries, which she later recovered from. After such identical incidents happened, the park started to take more safety precautions and increase their level of security, as well as how easy it was to enter a restricted area. 3 times more "do not enter" signs were introduced. They also covered many fences with barbed wire to stop people from jumping over them. While Asiah's life was lost in such a tragic way, and the introduction of safety measures may have been too late, it still shows that the park was not at fault for such an unfortunate accident, which is why the Batman ride is still open to this day. Sadly, ignoring warning signs led to many incidents. Over the years, parks have been getting better at introducing many safety measure protocols, such as inspecting rides, installing cameras all over the park, hiring more employees, and providing security to cover all areas of the park. The world lost a good kid who is very loved by his community. The following Saturday after the incident, a celebration of Asiah's life was held at Oakley Springs Baptist Church. He is survived by his parents, grandparents, 2 of his brothers, and many of his other relatives. His family missed him, and in an interview, his aunt said, "All I could do was cry, because he is more than just my nephew. He is more like my little brother." In this tragic incident, we learn to always look out for and respect warning signs. They are there for a reason. If you guys would like to learn about the identical incident of Samuel Milton Guyton, leave a like and a comment. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. And thanks for watching.